Hi, Deborah. Sorry it's taken so long to get to this one. I believe we were looking to make this pop. We're going to do a quick color tweak here. I'm going to reduce contrast just because I like to. And I'm just kind of eyeballing this. Exposure looks pretty good on it. I'm going to get a little more oomph out of it. It's a little pink. What I'm doing now is just looking at it and playing with what I think it needs. This is how I adjust tint. Over here it's pink. Over here it's too green. Mess with it when I can't quite nail it. I bring it down here. Bring down the warmth. Up the saturation. I want a little more snap. I'm going to push it. There we go. It was blowing out, but now I can really push it and it works. The blacks are a little weak up here, we can see, so I'm going to push them. Make them actually black. Just play with the contrast by upping it to make the blacks blacker. I didn't like the result, so I'm going to go back down. A lot of it's just playing. This is that fill slider. I like a little less shadow there, so I'm just bringing that in. Touch of saturation. That's a pretty good start. Now, you had mentioned that when you shot this, that you didn't have any room to move her right in the frame because there's no goods over here on the side. And I said, well, that doesn't matter because all you have to do is crop. Okay, here we go. Say that's our 4x5 crop. There's no room to move her right because there's no goods on the right. Or move her left because there's no goods on the right. So let's simply push the crop in on the left, and there she's been moved left. And we don't need more goods. We can go so far that now she's too far left in the frame. So when I say move her over a little bit, that's what I'm talking about right there. That looks good. Face has such impact. I think with this, almost tighter is better, but I like that crop. I can add a little vignetting here. Really doesn't need much at all. And you were talking about the blue of the eyes. By pulling that yellow out, the eyes got, the blues get stronger, so the eyes got bluer in mine. Alright, let's bring it in. Then we talked about getting some pop. And I think we talked about fixing the fuzzy. I'm going to do this real quick, so because I'm capturing a large area of the screen, these videos get huge, so I'm going to do that quicker than I should. Select, we're going to modify, we're going to feather the selection, doesn't matter, say 10. Edit, copy, edit, paste, edit, transform, flip horizontal, and we're going to grab that and put it over here. Cute, other than we get this little funny point at the top. So we're going to do transform warp. Let's see if we can't get rid of that funny shape at the very top here. That worked. We can bring it in either over her ear. Look at how even that is, but I don't mind that little bit of ear in there. And we can pull it down. And for speed again, I'm going to hit enter. We can see that there was some shadow over here on the right, and that shadow came through, so we'll just take the eraser tool and erase that part of it. And then we're going to do a dodge tool, and I just click to the back layer, which is the layer that she's in, without that little piece piece of fur. And I'm just dodging behind it. And let's go to the top layer again, which is the piece of fur. Dodge that a touch, because it would be lit by the main light on that side, so I have to bump it up. There, that's pretty much it. We can also, if you want to, grab some pink. I just sampled it by holding Alt. And we'll put it in color mode. And we will paint a little more pink in there if you want, optionally. And then we could also optionally go into normal mode and sample that color up there and kind of vignette it with that deeper, that deeper color. You mentioned a little bit of spit up down there. We're going to grab the clone tool. It's at 44, so that works. I'm going to sample here and just clone over the spit up area. And it's not working because I'm on the top layer, which is that fur layer. I'm going to flatten that since I'm pretty much done with that. Now we're going to do it. There was a little spit up right here, right there. So I'm going to sample above, go over it, gone. Then let's add some snap here. Let's get into those eyes. Do some quick retouching. They're pretty blue in mine. Yours, they were more gray, but when you correct the color, they get bluer. So let's first do a little dodge. And a lot of people have been doing this lately, and there's a couple different ways. You can quickly select the whites and do select feather, maybe 4, image adjust levels, and you can just bump up the whites that way. I find that takes a little too much time. And I like to just grab the dodge tool, break it small so I can get in the corner right here. So not too big. And I'll dodge in by the iris and less as I come into the corner of the eye. That's what's important. If we go like this, I'm going to do this because everybody's going to watch this. Now look, her eye, the actual eye white, the eyeball, is curved. So if we make it all white, it's now a flat area. We don't want to do that. So this is with none. And I'm going to dodge out here and less as I get into the corner. This you could optionally do. Slightly in the iris. Same thing here. I'm going to do in by the iris and pass less as I go out. Teeny bit there, little dodge in there. That's optional, up to you. And then we don't want to go outside the catch light, so we have to make it small. About 36, doesn't matter though. Same thing, paint inside only. Don't paint it as bright as it'll go. Don't paint it too even. Just enhance it. I'm seeing people doing way too much. Do one and then compare it to the original and think, yeah, it is brighter than the original. Now we're going to bring this original up to the same level. Kind of like that. Now this eye, because I dodged it, has a little pinkness to it, a little red in the white. So what I'm going to do here is do a sponge, desaturate, and see how this white is pink? The reason is it is reflecting this pink. So we're just going to pull some of that out of there. Pull all of it out of there. Also, the pink is in her blue of her eyes, and they're looking a little bit magenta here, so we'll come back and fix that. But anyway, I am desaturating some of the eye white. Alright, let's fix the blues. We are going to go into brush. We're going to sample a blue area. I'm trying to move that palette. I can't. I'm going to sample here. Gives us this blue. Now if we want, we can enhance that. It's kind of a gray right here. Just step in a little bit towards the more saturated blue. It's really the same color. We're just beefing it up a little bit. Here's the current, more gray color. Here's the new color I just increase to. You can really see it there. We don't want to go that much. So just a little blue, and then make sure we're in color mode up here, fairly low. And we're not, you could go over the entire eye like this, but that's so phony. Let's not do that. I'm going to Control Z. I'm going to use a smaller brush, and I'm going to, if you can hear my mouse, I'm doing a million clicks and just spotting it. So we get a little blue, a little gray. Same here, we got a lot of pink in there. And I can see I pulled a too saturated blue already, but I'm just going to keep going here. I mean, it's not an exact science, so sometimes it's off, and if it's off, you go in and fix it in another way. So then I go to the desaturation and turn it down. You had mentioned you wanted her eyes real natural, so walk over, look at them, and then come into the artwork section that you're doing and make a match. I just desaturated that one too. Again, you know, bring them up more if you want more, bring them down more. There's no exact place to be. And then with the skin, I do a little clone tool. Someone says, how do you retouch if you don't use portraiture? The old-fashioned way. You got a little crusty skin there. As little ones often have. They have dry patches and a little drool, so I just took that out. I'm going to soften that line too. You got a little crunchy skin here. I'm going to sample right there. Move just a little. And what I'm actually doing, I'm not really thinking. I'm pretty much randomizing. I'm just clicking. Alright, she's got this little pink under her eyes and a little blue up here. A lot of kids have a little vein there. What we're going to do is the same thing, about 33. Make this about this size, about the size of the pink. Sample down below. Brush up once or twice or 3 times. And same thing here. I'm going to grab this nose and just push a little of that warmth up over that blue vein. I'm going to move over, and you can see it's gone now, and see it over here. Almost looks like she'd rather fight than switch. Old commercial slogan there. I'm going to just do that. It was just a couple quick passes. And you can do as much or as little as you want as far as retouching. You can smooth the other cheek here a little bit. There's a little something right there. A little something on her nose. A little crusty on her inner nose. And there, we pretty much have it. And now, I'm going to I thought I was going to reduce, but we worked on the original size picture here. If we wanted to, you could do more color tweaks. You could do image, adjust, selective color. The whites seem a little pink, so we're going to do white. Let's reduce the magenta in them. That's better already. And maybe darken them a touch. And if we don't know, let's try it. And go like that. Ooh, I don't like that. That's better, a little warmer. And then I usually take a sharpen tool. Let's go full size. And if I were retouching this for the customer's order, I would kind of do this so that I see those eyelashes. I would zoom down with the brush size and get those irises so I get the iris details. Maybe the lip, a little texture in the nose. Because when you zoom out, it's hard to see that, see? So we're going to go to full size. That would pretty much be done. This one looks a little softer than that one, so I'm going to hit this one more time or 2 more times. And now we're good. Now, if you're going to post this on PortraitNet, image size, I'm going to go 900 wide. We just downsized it. This is full zoom, and we've lost all that clarity. So I'm going to zoom in. I would have saved it for the customer, but now we're going to put it on PortraitNet. So I'm sharpening just a touch more. And I want to see texture in the skin, so I'm actually sharpening in these areas that I retouched to bring back a little bit of that graininess, textureness. Textureness, that was a good word. You can recrop again if you want. Once you get it retouched, you start to see that, wow, the meat of this shot is right there. And there you have it. That's got pop. Very nice. Optionally, you can vignette as well. Let's sample. Instead of just going to black, let's see what happens. Let's do black. It's usually a little muddy, dirty looking. A little bit. See how it looks gray? I'm going to undo that. I'm going to sample this pink dark area and do the same thing. And it just makes it a little more natural. You could even sample this pink. See that right there? Not quite in the blacks, but darker. And that really draws our eye in. I'm going to vignette a little around the edges, because I don't want people looking out here. I want them getting sucked into those eyes. That's pretty much it right there. If you want to work on her t-shirt, you could colorize that. But for the most part, that now pops. I'm going to save it for you. That's the end on that one. I'll call up the other one in a second.